been a tremendous help because my work and everything else has been a lot crazier this time of year than usual. So I really appreciate that. Um, I think that's everything I've got until it's my turn to talk. Beth, if you want to take over.
Sure. Are the slides live, Mark?
We are live now.
Awesome. All right, so good evening and welcome to the 2022 Global Game Jam, Amber Waves of Games, and International Game Developers Association Twin Cities Chapter combined event. Blah. I want to thank the Amber Waves of Games folks, especially Nick, for hosting us this year and helping us to encourage some more Midwest mingling. So for those of you here from the Amber Waves community who aren't really familiar with IGDATC, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. We are a community-run organization led by a volunteer board. You'll likely see Eli, Mark, David, Zach, Peter, and myself hanging out in the front desk channel. Please feel free to stop in and say hello. We run 3 virtual meetings monthly, right now the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Wednesday of the month. During the Game Dev meeting, members of the local community and guest speakers give presentations on all things game development related. The Twin Cities Playtest is where we play games and chat with the devs who have made them. And to misquote Zach, the Minnesota Virtual Reality and Human-Computer Interaction sessions are about the weird ways we interact with computers, but not that weird. That said, I would like to extend an invitation to everybody who makes games this weekend to give a postmortem about your jam experience at our game dev meeting next month. So please get in touch with us via our email, igdatwincities@gmail.com, to sign up for a slot. I'm going to ask about that again and again because we really like to see everything that people make, and people think I'm not talking to them. But if you're here, I am speaking to you. And I want to give everybody a big old Midwestern welcome. If this is one of your first jams, then I'm excited to get to meet you, and I can't wait to see what you create. And don't worry if you've been to a few IGDA events, I'm just as excited to catch up with you and hear about what you're working on too. If you're not already in our Twin Cities Game Dev Discord, please join our community, even if you're not from Minnesota, because everyone is welcome. Which leads me to our safe space policy, safe event policy. I've got the important part of it here on this slide for you to read. Basically, it just says IGDATC does not tolerate any kind of discrimination or harassment at our events of our participants. So if you experience anything that makes you uncomfortable, please report it to us right away, and we'll address the issue as soon as possible. You can contact us via our email or ping us on the Discord if it's something that needs to be addressed right away. This policy and a bunch of other stuff will be in the rules and information link in the Global Game Jam channels up above later if you need to refer to it. So we'll cover some of the basics about the Global Game Jam now. Their mission is to empower individuals worldwide to learn, experiment, and create together through the medium of games. Because it's about open collaboration and learning, all of the games that are uploaded are under the Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 Creative Commons license. So you as a team own your original content and can do whatever you want with it. But the Global Game Jam does keep a copy of what you've uploaded for others to download, modify, and distribute for non-commercial purposes. And this is our planned schedule for the event this weekend. If you're participating in the Global Game Jam, some key milestones are by noon on Saturday, you should have a page set up on the Global Game Jam site and add all of your team members. And then by noon on Sunday, you should have a game or team image and a test build with assets uploaded. I put 8 p.m. as the end here because you get 48 hours, but I know from past jams, folks are usually a little bit wiped out kind of earlier than that. You don't have to stay until 8, and for the post-jam social, we don't have anything special planned. It's just going to be some time to mingle and chat casually with your fellow jammers. And now that upload time is not a hard deadline, but I cannot guarantee after, I think it's like 3 p.m. local time, they say you should have everything uploaded. I'm not sure when Global Game Jam will actually close the ability to upload your games. And this is a slide with some official resources for the Global Game Jam. Don't panic, you don't have to write these down. These are also in the information channel. That'll be, their dashboard is actually, I think, new this year. Maybe it was last year, I don't know. didn't participate, but it's really great. It's got all of their like important stuff there, and they've got the code of conduct, the FAQ, and the diversifiers were so long I didn't want to stick them on a slide, so you're going to want to go check that out. And then there's instructions on how to upload your game and how to upload your board game if you create a board game this weekend. Those are also all up in the chat. And so they also want us to ask you to fill out a participant survey, which is linked here, and I'll stick it up in the top. And then now I'm going to hand it over to Nick.
Oh, my microphone's swapped. Sorry about that. So a little bit about Amber Waves of Games and what we do. Slide, please. Right. Amber Waves of Games is a digital community hub, or kind of a meta community, dedicated to finding all of the other Midwestern developer communities, developers, any other individuals or hobbyists, and bringing them together. Sorry. We host quarterly game jams like this one. So there's always something that's coming up. They'll always be free, and it's a good way to help keep the other communities active that are either too small to host their own or don't have the resources, or for anybody who's not able to find local groups to attend, or for health and safety reasons, as has been the case recently. Slide, please. As far as the server jam rules go, they are separate from Global Game Jam. You can participate in this event without necessarily participating in the Global Game Jam if you'd like. For communications during the jam, it's important to try to keep all of the communications within the server. It's what kind of gives this that little bit of in-person feeling that we miss from going to a local jam. Everybody gets a text channel and a voice channel for their team. The voice channels are completely private. Only your team and admins, moderators will be able to access those. The text channels, only your team will be able to communicate within, but everybody can see everybody's text channels. So if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration, or if you're just curious about what other people are doing, you can kind of look around and see what all is being worked on. If you are in the position to work on multiple games or within multiple teams, that's acceptable. I can account for that. It's really good for composers or artists who might wrap up with their work before the game's done and there's still other games to work on. If that happens, just shoot me a message in the slides that you can see later. There's my Discord contact as well. If you can't find me here, I'll put you on that team. This is an important rule because it's caused some issues in the past. If someone on your team is working on multiple games, only use in your game the work that they created for it. If they give, a music track to multiple games, that's fine. But we've had an instance where music that was intended for a specific game was used without their knowledge in another game, and that didn't really work well for that composer. So I would just like to avoid that situation. Next slide, please. The last thing is, because this isn't the Global Game Jam per se, you can make games in any of the game making games that you might have. Some of the games that we'll accept are Game Builder Garage, Mario Maker 1 or 2, Dreams on PlayStation or Little Big Planet, Tabletop Simulator. I know there are others that I don't have listed here, like Levelhead is actually a Midwestern one. I believe that was developed in St. Louis. If you've got any others that you know of, you can just let me know, and anything is fine. Uh, I'll actually, if you're not able to, record the gameplay footage and get everything up so that you can still show it off, even though the others won't necessarily be able to download and play it. So as long as you're following the Amber Waves of Games participation rules, you're allowed to hang out here and work on this jam, and you'll find those rules linked at the bottom of this slide here. And I think that's all I've got.
All right, thank you. I will go through later and add that link to the slides and to your rules into the info channel a little bit later. Right now, there is a keynote for Global Game Jam every year. Now, I talked about it with the leaders on the IGDA side, and we thought that it would be a good idea to play the entire keynote here, but we know that not everybody is really keen into watching it. So it's only 17 minutes long, and we'll skip the ads at the end, but we'll start the brainstorming and team building in about 17, 18 minutes when it's over. But if you already have a team and you just want to get going, I'm going to post the theme only reveal in the rules and info text channel. So I'm going to do that first. So y'all can leave if you want to go just look at that, but please don't spoil it for anybody who stays for the whole video.